This is me, Blondie's Brian St. Thomas. I take my right hand on the Holy Bible that on the way back from our engagement, the night of our engagement, my father's in front of our bus, and the word he says in the bus that Martina's a coming home. And I take my right hand on this Holy Bible that he says that in the back of the bus, and it wasn't only one time that he says it. And next morning, when I come out of the trailer, that Daddy and Uncle American came back from Jar's house, which they were in Jar's house, and I says to him, I told Martina what you says last night to her, it says about her last night she's a whore. And the word he says, he agreed to it outside the door. And when we came home that evening from Tubbercurry, he says to me in the sitting room, I was sitting in the sitting room, and he says to me that you want to say to Martina that she says that through spite about me and calling Martina a whore. That's the word that he says. And I did not say yesterday morning in that house, the farmer's Bridget went to light a candle. And the word mommy says she's going into let the Kenny to light a candle. And the word I says to her, go on ahead and make it, light it because it'll make her stronger. And she ran out the door, and Daddy was outside smoking. She ran out the door and says to Daddy, the farmer's Bridget lit a candle for him. That's my right hand in this Holy Bible. That's everything but the truth that I must have spread in that Bible.
This is me, Blondie's Brian, and I have to take this Bible today over my snotty nose of a son left an awful lie on me. On the way home from the engagement, we dropped Jimmy and Chantel home to Farmer Bridges' house. On the way back to Bindore at the roundabout, before he turned left for Ballyshanny, I pulled in to go for a piss. He followed me out and he gave me a bit of a bacon, right? I got into the back of the bus, I started calling his mother a whore, right? And I turned around and says to him, there's no whores in this bus. And people in the pub were supposed to be having their knickers out. My son Thomas is in the back of the bus, right? And I says, Thomas, who has their knickers out in the pub, right? Oh, you're only a whore, he's saying to his wife, his mother, Gertie, right? So that was all right anyway. He started beating our Martin Zanny in the back of the bus, right? You listening? We had to bring him to the Kenny Guard system, had to get him locked up, right? Next morning then, outside the house, he was supposed to tell me that I called Martina a whore. Well, I'm here at this fieries today, and I put my hand this oath, yeah, my right hand in this oath. And I never in my born life called Martina out of her name, only Martina. And I never in my born life called Martina any whores or anything. And I promise you, in this book, it won't be 12 months' time when the truth will come out for the ones who took this oath in the wrong. Now, Farmer's Bridget says there a while ago she took the Bible, she lit no candle for me, right? My son Thomas taught me the Farmer's Bridget little candle for me. I was chatting to Farmer's Bridget last night on the phone. I said, you light a candle for me, Bridget. And the word the woman turned around and says, no, she says, I light candles for the dead. Right? And says, who was telling you that? I said, my son Thomas was telling me that. And that's all I have to say here today. And like this now I have to say, I'll put up Thomas's wedding, a help of God, and he's half when he's getting married to Martina. And I wish the two of them the best of luck and happiness. But I ain't gone fed up with my son Thomas bringing all the lies around the country about me and Gertie, his mother. He's a very good father and mother, but he has no respect for us. He goes up to the hill, up to my father and mother. He brings a load of stories and a load of lies. Half these things not even happen in my house. He went along yesterday and told Martina that I was supposed to chase him with a baseball bat. What you didn't do. What you didn't do. And my right hand is on this oath. What you didn't do. He told Martina that I was supposed to chase him away from the house with a baseball bat, which I didn't do. And I told my future daughter-in-law to be, my daughter-in-law to be, I even told her, I said, I didn't, I said, that's the biggest lie that Thomas ever says. I said, that's the biggest lie that I ever followed him. The only way I walked down to his van was they asked him for the keys of the trailer. And when I asked him for the keys of the trailer, he said, you're not getting them. He put his van into reverse and he forced back and he drove on. And that's the last time I seen Thomas. Till this morning, out in my sister Phyllis's house, I went out and I took the keys back in my trailer. And then he went along, he sent the guards up to my house over his trailer. And the guards was chatting, he says, it was only between you and your son, it's only an issue. And that's what he says. And he turned around and says to the guards, my hand is oath, that I don't want to see him getting married. Well, Thomas, it's the biggest lie you ever told about your father, because I wish you and Martina the best of life and happiness. Would the two of ye, and me and your mother is not McGridgeon out of your wedding, or anything of Blondie. I wish you and Martina the best of luck and happiness. And look at, I'm not going to say nothing more in this Bible, but I came here to clear my name and to clear Martina's name, because I know nothing about Martina. She's only a single girl. She's only getting married to my son. I never heard nothing about Martina of anybody. She's a very, very nice girl, and I came up here today to clear her name, how the lies went out about me. And thank you very, very much.
Dr. Bridgie, I'm Martin the farmer. I'm swear on this blessed Bible, I lick no can for Brian more from Letterkenny Blondie's Brian. And also can call no Blondie's Brian a tramp or a bowsy. But I want to find out what has Blondie's Martin's girl got to do, what has given my child. As again, my child, my first time to meet that little girl was at the engagement of evening, and there's a big, I was told myself that there was a big, Martina had an issue between Tom, Martin and Annie, and what was going wrong about Bernie and Kathleen in the Bible.